Good morning, good day, good evening. I am, as always, your host, Brody Robertson, and today we are back for episode 94 of Tech for Tea. Now, I don't know if you're going to notice this, but my mic should sound at least a little bit different. Maybe it peaked there a little. Actually, I'll lower it down a little bit. So, I'm actually messing around with the way that my compression settings are done. That should be hopefully fine there. Previously, the way I was doing compression was on the mixer board itself, but the mixer board doesn't really have much in the way of control of the compression. So I have a compression knob, and that's it. I can't modify things like the attack, the release. I can obviously do boosted gain afterwards because I have the gain knob here, so I can always just, change that. But I didn't really have as much control as probably made sense. Like, the mixer board is great, and it's great for so many other things, but just for that one thing, I've decided to move it over to doing it inside of OBS. So it should sound a little bit different, especially now that I can feasibly have the mic closer to my face, so I have more of the, what is the word called? The thing that makes the voice sound more bassy. I don't know. Anyone who knows about microphones knows the word I'm talking about. I still have no idea how microphones work. They're magic. I just work it out as I go. So I'm probably going to tweak it here and there again at some point. But I've meaning to make this change for quite a while, and I finally got around to doing so. So hopefully it does sound better. I'm considering swapping over from this this wind guard to the other one that came with it, just so I can have the mic up like this, and it does eliminate a lot of the plosives, but eliminating the plosives can also just be done by not having the mic directly in my face, pointing it or having the mic slightly below so the popping sounds go over the mic, but it's still very close to my face, so it still should have that same sort of the name for it is right on the tip of my tongue. I just cannot think of what it's called. I'm gonna look it up right now. Sure. Proximity effect. There we go. Thank you. Is the proximity effect. That's where by having the mic closer to your face, it sort of increases the proximity, increases the bass, makes it seem like, I'm talking closer to you. And I sort of like that effect, and I might as well be making use of it. I thought I disabled my Discord notification. I might as well be making use of it if I'm going to be using something like the Shure SM7B. But that's enough talking about the mic for now. I've got plenty of topics on here for today, and I was honestly thinking about not doing the podcast. So this week is sort of a mess for me. This is probably the worst case scenario for how my schedule can be in. It could probably get worse, but anything worse than this, I'd be just I'm going to just take the entire week off. So this week, not a normal week. Okay, normal week, I do videos and all the channel stuff Monday to Friday, and usually I'll have 3 or so shifts at my day job. This week, I have 4 days. All of those days, I'm also working, and on Wednesday, so yesterday, as of the recording of this, I spent half the day at my sister's place, hanging out with my nieces and nephews. So, basically, I have 3.5 days to do everything on my channel. Basically, the reason why I don't have the Friday is because Friday, I don't want to do any work because I'm going up to my parents' place first thing in the morning. I could always, delay that and then head up later, but I said I was going to go up first thing in the morning, so I'll probably do that. I'll probably leave around... First thing in the morning for me means, at the earliest, 9:30, 9:30 or 10. I'm not going to make any rush out of the house. I'm probably not going to, pack any of my stuff until tomorrow morning anyway. Because I know I'm going to check over the bag, 10 times regardless. So I might as well check over the bag 10 times while I'm actually doing the packing. It's not like I have anything that crazy to pack, but knowing my luck, I'd forget to bring my phone charger or something and then have to drive back home in dead silence because my radio doesn't work, like many things in my... Actually, no, I think my radio does work, but I don't know how to use it. And a lot of the road, because it's a lot of like rural driving, I would have to listen to like AM stations or like very cutting in and out FM stations, and I don't want to do either of those things. So I want to make sure I have audio there to keep myself sane. It seems like the mics... I'm just looking at the light on the mixer board itself. It seems like it's peaking more than it was when I was doing my regular videos. I guess I wasn't paying attention to it when I was recording those videos, so maybe it was doing that the entire time. I'll have to go back and actually listen to the audio, see if I need to bring the gain... Actually, I might listen to it when I get to the 30-minute mark, and then I, take the break, just to see if I need to bring it back down. So you might notice that as the show goes on, it is going to change just a little bit. I'm not going to make any like major sweeping changes, but you might notice that there's going to be at least some little tweaks here and there. Half of you aren't even going to notice it, and you're like, oh, this sounds exactly the same as it did last week, because I've had those experiences, especially when I bought the new mic. Some people were like, oh yeah, it sounds the same. Or like, I bought the new camera, which very clearly does not look the same as the old C920. And some people were like, oh yeah, it looks the same as the C920. Like, are you blind? Like, that's fine if you're blind, but like, if you're not blind, I think you need to get your eyes checked, because a C920 does not look like a mirrorless camera. There's nothing you can do to a C920 that's going to make it look anywhere near as good as a mirrorless camera, unless you have it in like a little square in the bottom of your screen, which is why a lot of streamers, like really big streamers, don't upgrade from anything else. Because if you're never going to do like a full face cam, like it doesn't actually matter either way. I thought my chair was bumping the side of my computer case. It's got like a thumb screw on the side, and I noticed that sometimes I actually bump it, and that's why my chair is like rubbing away some of like it's not leather, it's like a fake leather covering for the chair or whatever. I have no idea what the chair's made of. I'll make chairs. Anyway, that's enough talking about bullshit. Time to talk about different bullshit. I went and saw Sword Art Online Progressive 4 days ago? 4 days ago as of the recording of this. So if you don't know what SAO Progressive is, basically it is a retelling of the first arc of Sword Art Online. It's not like the movie we saw wasn't like a retelling of the entire thing. So Progressive, I think, actually I'm going to check what the light novel's up to. I feel like it's around, it can't be any further than like floor 10. I don't have the exact, let's see, light novel, yep, light novel volumes, thank you. Can we just jump directly to the newest one? Why is this wiki fucking garbage? Okay, I'm just gonna click through next here. Anyway, this first movie was about basically a retelling of the first floor. So, basically, Asuna and Kirito meeting, fighting who's the what's it boss, and also Diabel dying because he doesn't understand video games. Here we go. Anyone who hasn't seen SAO, let me explain to you the dumbest scene that's happened in any series ever. So Sword Art Online is, as the name would suggest, it's an anime about an MMO, right? So they went into a raid boss. One of the members of the party, it was the party leader, got down by the boss. He was on low health, and Kirito went over to him, offered him a potion. Diabel was like, no, I don't want the potion. I'm going to tell you my life story instead. Why? Like, okay, Progressive retconned a lot of the stuff that happened in the in that first section of the story. But if you're gonna retcon stuff, can you please just retcon how fucking stupid Diabel is? It didn't make any sense why he died there. Like, mate, take the fucking potion. Why did you just kill yourself? So, basically, rather than focusing on Kirito like like the main series does, at least the first section doesn't. It seems like looking further into Progressive, Kirito does become a bit more of a focus, but this first movie was focusing on Asuna. So normally when Kirito and Asuna met, it was just before the raid group. So basically, just for the raid party of the first boss. So there was the meeting, and Asuna didn't find a party to join. Kirito, also being a loner, didn't find a party to join. They became a party together. That's where they were supposed to meet. In Progressive, though, Asuna actually joins the game with one of her friends called Mito, who for some reason doesn't seem to ever show up again in the story after Progressive, after the first volume of Progressive, so I don't actually know what the deal with Mito is. Anyway, joins the game with Mito, who, before she has her transformation back into like how she actually looks in the real world, is voiced by Frieza, which is fun. I kind of wish that the entire movie she was voiced by Frieza, but sadly we lost that and have to go back to her just being adorable, which is fine. I'm fine with that, but it would have been funny. It honestly would have been funny to see Frieza and Asuna running around the entire time, but can't win every battle. So Mito and Asuna, they sort of get used to the game. At the start, Asuna is rightfully terrified. She almost dies literally on the first day, like 5 minutes after it's announced that if you die in the game, you die in real life. Literally goes out of town and almost dies straight away. But eventually Asuna gets used to it, and they go, I guess for some reason, they go to this area that has big man-eating plants. I think they're going there for a quest or something, or maybe to grind some experience. I don't remember the exact reason why they went there. Anyway, Asuna fucked up, activated the trap, and there was hundreds of these enemies that spawned. So Asuna had gone to fight these by herself, because Mito, just before that happened, saw like a rare monster off to the side and went to go get an item. We find out why she got the item a bit later, but at the start, they basically get separated in that section. Asuna is like 1 HP away from dying, and then Kirito comes in and saves the day, because that's what Kirito does. He just jumps in out of fucking nowhere. Like, this is a common trend throughout the entire series. Like, Alicization, everyone's about to be dead. Kirito wakes up from a fucking coma. Sure, if you say so. But that's when they initially met. Kirito being like a super awkward, I think, how old is he at the start of Aincrad? Is he like 15 or something? I'm gonna check. I think he's like 14 or 15. 14. So, him being an edgy 14-year-old who plays MMORPGs all day and has never spoken to a woman in his entire life is very awkward speaking to Asuna, because, like, she's Asuna. Kirito doesn't know how to speak to an attractive woman. So, he goes to, like, shake Asuna's hand, and he's like standing literally as far away from her as possible, and not even like looking at her in the eye, which was quite an amusing scene. I think honestly makes more sense for the way they first interact with each other than sort of how it was portrayed in the main series itself, because it's very obvious, judging just by Asuna's voice, that Asuna is a female. Kirito clearly should have some issue talking to her, judging by later interactions he has in the series. Also, a hood over your face does not cover your face. It just covers your hair. So, ignoring all of that stupid shit, the initial introduction they have in Progressive actually makes way more sense than it was in the main series. But when Kirito and Asuna met again, actually, before that happened, sorry. So, Asuna doesn't actually meet up with Mito after that battle happens. So, they were actually in a party together, and Mito didn't want to be around when Asuna died. She knew there was no way she was getting back to Asuna before these plants were able to defeat her, because she was also stuck fighting a bunch of them as well. And she was like, you know what? I'm leaving the party. I don't want to be here when Asuna dies, which is kind of a dick move. And also, I'll explain why it makes no fucking sense in a bit anyway. So, Asuna decides, I'm going to become edgy now. I'm going to go beat this game by myself. I'm going to be legendary solo player. She goes and buys the hood that we see in the anime, and then goes to a fucking dungeon and raids it for 3 days straight. Now, I need to talk about the leveling system in SAO, or the lack thereof. If you thought RuneScape was bad for grinding, holy shit. So, in the first section of SAO, they were on the first floor, I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks. Asuna, being a solo player, got to about level 12. It was like 10 or 12. What? 3 weeks. This isn't 3 weeks of, playing a game, going to school, all that fun stuff. She literally was in a dungeon, raiding for 3 whole days straight, only stopping to sleep and eat. Got to level fucking 10. Didn't leave the dungeon to repair her items either. Had 20 spare rapiers in her fucking storage. How are you only at level 10? Why does the leveling system in SAO make absolutely no sense? So Kirito ended up meeting Asuna in that dungeon while she had the hood on. For some reason, Kirito was really bad at discerning voices and couldn't tell they were the same person, even though, Asuna and Asuna with the hood sound exactly the same. But Kirito was like, you're a fucking idiot. Why are you doing this? You need to leave tower. You need to leave the dungeon to, rest, right? And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. Asuna fucks up, passes out, and Kirito just, drags her out of the dungeon and is like, no, you can sleep here. Which also doesn't make any sense, going by the main series, where they hadn't really had any level of decent conversation till way later in the series. They clearly had not Actually, no. Even just Asuna with a hood, they clearly had not interacted together or interacted with each other until that first meeting. So the fact that Progressive adds this extra stuff sort of breaks the start of the main series. So from there, they go fight the boss. Asuna discovers that Mito is still alive because plot. We also discover why Mito ran off to go and kill this rare monster. It wasn't to get an item for herself, like Asuna was thinking. She thought that she had been abandoned by her friend had run off, thought that this game was changing her friend. But what she actually discovered was that Mito ran off to get the rapier we see Asuna using at the start of the series. I have no idea what the name is. I don't think it actually really matters. I'll see if I can find the name, actually. She actually went through 3 rapiers at the start of the game. On the first floor. Is it the Wind Floret? Yes. Acquires the monster drop. Wait, no, is that acquired later in the series? No, Lambient Light's the one she has later in the series. So, yeah, it'd be the Wind Floret. This one right here that she's seen using right near the start of the game. Obtained after following Kirito's battle advice. So yeah, they straight up retcon how she actually got the sword. Or is this a different sword? No, sorry, that's the sword that Kirito gave her. She got a different sword from... The name doesn't matter. She got a sword from Mito. And that's the sword that you see her using in that fight in the dungeon. So they sort of change how she ends up getting it. Basically, the movie ends as soon as they finish the fight. Kirito gets his signature black cloak. The whole beta scene happens. For anyone who somehow is watching this section who doesn't know about that, basically, there's this idea in SAO that the beta testers are bad people. So, basically, before SAO started, like most MMOs nowadays, there is some level of what's the word? Beta test. That's some level of beta test. There was a closed beta. Yeah, it had to have been a closed beta with like an NDA because otherwise this doesn't make any sense. So they did a closed beta, then the game happened, and then the beta testers didn't apparently share enough information with like the regular players. And then for some reason, like the beta testers are hated. Everybody hates the beta testers, but Kirito decides I'm gonna sort of be the place that everyone directs their anger. I'm gonna be the biggest asshole on the planet. I'm gonna be like, I'm not like these other wimpy beta testers. I'm better than them. I got to floors that they could never get to. I'm such a great player. All of you hate me now. And when I originally saw that, I thought it was a really dumb scene. But it makes sense why, in the context of the overall dumb scene, why he would be an asshole. So, one of the guys in the group, I think his name's... I don't remember his name. He's the dude with the fucking spiky hair. Anyway, he then says, "You're worse than a beta tester. You're a cheater. You're a cheater and a beta tester. That means you're a beater." And Kirito's like, "Yeah, I'm a beater." I like the sound of that. I'm a beater. I'm not like those other beta testers. I'm better than them. It's such a dumb scene. Like, the whole scene overall is dumb. Kirito's reasoning for doing that makes sense. He doesn't want the other beta testers to be harassed. He wants to be the one they focus their anger on. Just to protect everybody. Like, he makes himself out to be like this edgy kid at the start, but clearly he does care about other people. So then they leave the dungeon. Kirito's like, "Don't follow me. I'm gonna like do my own thing." Asuna's like, "No," and just follows him. And then they get out of the dungeon. Asuna's like, "Wow, it's a pretty new dungeon." And we see someone like peeking their head around the corner from like the exit of the dungeon. We haven't actually had much focus on her in the main series, but it was, what was her name? She was Argo, that one, the information dealer. The information dealer that Kirito every so often has a conversation with in the main series, but we have no idea where Kirito actually ever met her. So she's, from what we can see, a bit more of a focus in the progressive series, which I think makes a lot of sense, and I'm actually really happy to see that. After the credits aired, we found out that there's going to be another movie, and the next movie is going to air in 2022. I don't know exactly where we're going to be, presumably, judging by what happened in the first volume, we're going to just adapt, or in the first movie, we're just going to adapt a single volume. That means we're going to be adapting, so volume 2 takes place clearing floor 3. So I guess nothing really happens on floor 2? Wait, no, sorry. No, I'm wrong there, actually. No, I'm actually completely wrong. Because the first movie doesn't actually adapt the entire volume. That's the other thing that happened. So I didn't realize... Yeah, I slipped my mind for a moment. So the first movie, Aria of a Starless Night, only adapts up to the end of floor 1. But then floor 2 happens, and that's Rondo of a Fragile... Was it Rondo of a Fragile Blade? Yeah, Rondo of a Fragile Blade. And this is going to be the second movie. So, the first and second movie is literally adapting one volume of the light novel, which is ridiculous. But volume 1 seems to be the most content-packed volume. Some of the other ones are longer, like this one has more pages. But they only cover like a single floor. I have no idea how this much was covered in a single volume. Maybe they just didn't want to... Well, I guess there's not that much that happens in the first floor. Also, no, this one is longer. Yeah, this one is much longer. I was looking at the English page count versus the Japanese one. So yeah, 520 compared to 390. Either way, that is a lot of content. And the pacing didn't feel weird, even though it's covering half a volume. Usually when that happens, like, you'd expect it to be like, why is nothing happening in this movie? But I didn't feel like, I definitely did not feel like that at all. It's very possible, I don't see any reference to Mito in the descriptions here. It's very possible that the Mito stuff was actually movie-only content. Which would be really strange if that happened, actually. I haven't read the Progressive Light novel. I need to go and do that because, like, there's no wiki page for Mito either. Which also really, really confuses me because usually a character that's sort of at all a focus in, like, in a series like this is gonna have some page on the wiki. Yeah, there's still no page for her, which is very strange, which very much makes me believe that she's a movie-only character. If I'm wrong there and she does show up in the Progressive Light novel, then let me know, but I'm not seeing any reference here, which is very strange. Yeah, because I'm looking at the light novel right now, and it starts from where Kirito meets Asuna in the dungeon. Kirito witnessed a female solo player overkilling a ruined kobold with continuous use of linear. This is like 30 minutes into the movie. Yeah, this is 30 minutes into the movie, so clearly they added some extra content there. Or this is just not a complete summary of what actually happened. What if I find... let's go anime. Is there a page on the movie? There has to be. Phantom Bullet, Alicization, Progressive. Do you not have a page for Progressive yet? I'm gonna just search it outside of the wiki. SEO Progressive wiki. Movie. I'm actually thinking there might be a movie canon right now. Yeah, there's no page on the wiki for it. Huh. Is this movie canon? Did we straight up just pull like a Nanoha and make a light novel and a movie canon? Okay, now I'm very excited to see what happens with the second movie. Wait. I'm sorry, wait, what? A second movie, Sword Art Online Progressive, it's adapting volume 5? Floor 5? Wait, what the fuck are these movies? Hold up. I thought the second movie was adapting Floor 2. Wait, we're skipping ahead... What are we skipping ahead to? We're skipping ahead to volume 4? What? I'm so confused now. Wait, what? Yeah, no, this is the same title as the new movie's gonna have. What? Why? Why would you adapt the movie or the series that fixes the pacing of Aincrad and then fuck the pacing of Aincrad? What? What is the purpose of that? Did we cover Floor 5 in the main series? What's Floor 5? That's so stupid. Sly Shrewman, yep, that's where Asuna got her new rapier. I don't think Floor 5 was in the main series. Oh, I can see why they're covering it. It's because it seems to have some members who are eventually going to be joining Laughing Coffin. I see what we're doing here. Yep, these are definitely future Laughing Coffin members. Yeah, we have references to characters who show up later in the series as well. Okay, I don't want to show any of these pictures just because, spoilers. But that's stupid. And now I just want to go and read the progressive light novel, just so I can actually get the content in the form that it's supposed to be in. So I listened back to the audio from that section I just did, and the audio seems fine. I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary with it. Like, obviously, it sounds slightly different, but I sort of expected, especially with that random peaking that was happening, that maybe it was gonna, like, not sound great in some ways, but it seems like that's not an issue, and I can sort of go ahead with the way that it's set up. I think the one thing I might need to worry about is in a live stream, I might need to tweak it. Maybe just move the mic further away, like having the mic over here. Yeah, I think with the live streams, I definitely need to have like more leeway with loud noises. That's the problem I have. I noticed that especially in the live streams, like if I laugh at something, which is fairly common, especially when I'm playing Bloodborne, because holy shit, that is a buggy game. Something will happen and I burst out laughing, and then the mic just peaks to hell and it sounds absolutely awful. So when I get back from my break, I will see how it goes in the live stream, probably tweak it like live on the stream itself. Now, I was thinking about including, this is a terrible segue. I was thinking about including a story at the start of this podcast, but I sort of wanted to change it around, move it to a bit later in the show, because I don't want to add my clickbait right at the start of the podcast. So yesterday, I almost died. This not clickbait. This actually did happen. So when you're driving a car, the safest thing to be doing is assume that everybody around you is drunk and can't drive to save their lives, because that's going to make you do things that are safer than you would be if you assume that everybody around you actually knows how to drive. If you assume that everybody is liable to smack into you and like cut corners, just pull out randomly from side streets, you're going to be safer. And I'm lucky that I assumed this, because there was a moron last night who almost put me into a high-speed car crash. So I was coming down the highway after work. I finished work at 11, so it would have been, I think, like around 11:20 or so by the time I was getting home. I was still on the highway, just about to get off of it, and like, as you're coming up the highway, there are these like random suburbs along the side and side streets to get onto the highway. Like, this is fairly normal stuff. Now, there was this guy, I think he was in like, I think it was like a white Civic or something. I don't know what the car was. I think it was a white Civic. The model, it doesn't actually matter. He comes out from the side street, straight into the middle of the highway. Now, I had thought he was coming out and was going to like turn into the first lane, because this is a 3-lane highway. I was in the middle lane, and it's fairly common to see people pull out and then just, slip into that first lane. Don't do it. It's a bad idea, because if you overshoot the lane, you're going to fucking die, and you're probably going to kill someone. But it was fine in this case. I assumed it was going to be fine. Oh, it was fine in most cases. I assumed it was going to be fine this time. No, he didn't want to do that. Instead, he wanted to pull into the 3rd lane. So I'm here, okay? I'm here. He's here. 3rd lane's over here. He's like, woo! Stops in. He doesn't, like, the thing is, he doesn't even like actually pull into his lane. He stops in the 2nd lane. Like, just straight up stops there. I'm going like 80 k's an hour. Like, what the fuck are you doing? How are you this fucking stupid? Like, if you're gonna do that, floor it and get into your fucking lane. don't stop there. So I slam my feet on the brakes. Don't want to do it too hard that it locks up my wheels, because if that happens, then I can't turn out of the way if I, aren't able to stop quick enough. So I put my feet down hard enough where it's going to slow down. Just managed to slow down in time. Luckily, there was no one else on the road because I had to swerve into the next lane. I was maybe at absolute most 3 meters. Probably not even that. Maybe 2 meters away from hitting this car. So yeah, that was a fun experience. I didn't get this guy's number plates because if I did, I don't know. There's literally nothing I could have done. Honestly, I don't know how this guy still has a fucking license. This is the dumbest driver I've ever seen. It's one thing, to not indicate as you're going round and roundabout. Look, that's a different level of annoying, but it's fine. It's one thing to start to change lanes without checking if the lane is clear. You're going to start a car crash, but usually the person in the other lane, if they're paying attention, can deal with that. Pulling out from a fucking side street at nearly midnight, that's just... How are you this dumb? He had his lights on as well. That's the other thing. He could clearly see me there. And if this guy waited, 10 seconds more, the highway was empty. Nobody was on the highway. But he decided, no, I'm just going to pull out right now. But here's maybe the worst or the best part. I don't know how you describe it. As soon as that happened, right? The first thing I thought, not, oh yeah, I'm very happy I didn't die today. This would have been horrible if I was in a car crash. I'm very happy I don't have to be in an ambulance. My first thought was, how do I turn this into content? I thought, hey, I've got the podcast to record first thing tomorrow morning. How do I turn this into content? How do I make money off of this story? I think I'm too deep into the YouTuber hole that my first thought is, I'm thankful I'm not dead. Or my first thought isn't that I'm thankful I'm not dead. It's, how do I make money from not being dead? I posted this on Twitter last night and nobody asked me if I was alright. Not a single person. I feel like everybody who saw the tweet assumed that it was just a joke. It was not just a joke. I straight up almost fucking died last night. You were maybe 2 meters away from me not recording this podcast. And the worst thing about this, as I mentioned earlier, I'd be driving up to my parents' place for Christmas, so I wouldn't have a fucking car today if this guy had pulled out maybe just a fraction of a second earlier. Maybe I would have probably been in the hospital, to be completely honest. Because I don't trust my car not to kill me. I don't trust my car to actually be safe. And I actually had, you guys wouldn't have known that I'd be dead for a little bit because I actually have videos queued up, I think for the next 3 days. So those videos would go up without thumbnails and without proper titles. And then all of a sudden, nothing would happen on the channel. It would just be blank. So... yeah, my last night was fun. That was certainly an experience, and it certainly makes me pay more attention when I'm driving now. Definitely. People, I hate them. Maybe we should just look. This is why we should. This is why if we had perfect or autonomous driving, it would be great. The problem is that modern autonomous driving isn't great. There's this video I found over on Reddit yesterday. We're gonna watch this video. We don't usually watch videos on the podcast, but this video is so fucking good. basically this guy owns a Tesla, and he was demonstrating how absolutely amazing the Tesla self-driving is. Well, this guy uploaded this, like, he just took the video and then put it onto Reddit, but yeah, there actually is a source for it, which is nice. Anyway.
So this should be interesting to see.
You're gonna see how perfect the Tesla automated driving is. It's not as bad as it could be. It's not great though.
Anyways, and there is a UPS truck in front of us, so this should be interesting to see what happens. The car, I am taking over. I'm trying. All right, there we go.
Beautiful. Already perfect.
Yeah, I don't know why I wanted me to take over immediately, because and it tried to go down the actual railroad track on the right.
That's not the only time that's gonna happen, by the way. So that's like, he called it a railroad track. It's, I don't know if it's a railroad track, if it's actually a tram track. Either way, it shouldn't be going there. Like, it shouldn't even, like, it has a map. It shouldn't even be registering that as a road.
Right there. So I had to take over, unfortunately. Oh, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay.
Yeah, to be fair, in that... Okay, first the car should have stopped because it's supposed to have people detection. But that person also was being a moron. I don't know why they were like... I don't know why you would ever cross the road while cars are crossing at a turn. Like, if you do that, you're sort of asking to be hit. Yes, the drive... I don't know specifically about where this driver is. In Australia, you're supposed to stop if there is a pedestrian who's even like who's going over the crossing, like, or just about to go over the crossing. Like, you're supposed to still stop. But I would never cross the road at that point, even if I know the driver there is a perfect driver.
Put my hands up and was like, oh shit, because I didn't know if they were able to walk or not, but they apparently had the, yeah, that was fucked. Okay. And then the car is trying to go down the railroad tracks again. I mean, this shouldn't, like...
I've never seen it come that close to a pedestrian.
Yeah, pedestrian. 8. Like, a pedestrian and the railroad tracks now. This is, I'm not going to comment. Just, you guys can just see for yourselves. It's time to turn right. I just got honked at. I'm getting honked at again. Alright, whoa. I don't know what that was right when I activated it, but now here we are again at the right-hand turn to the railroad tracks.
Mm-hmm. And it's really obsessed with these railroad tracks. I don't know what the deal is there.
And yeah, I mean, it's able to kind of like find its way, but it's not perfect in any sense. And right there, it told me to stop for a stop sign, even though there's no stop sign. Are people crying?
Yeah, if you notice that, the I guess if you listen to the audio version.
So I would personally wait. I'm gonna have to pause it.
There was a stop sign that was there for turning traffic, and is just assumed, oh, stop sign, that means I gotta stop.
It's just going and going. These people are just making it annoying. So I reactivated.
Actually, I skipped past it, didn't I?
Right there, it told me to stop.
Yeah, here we go.
And yeah, I mean, it's
just
able to kind of like find its way, but it's not
there we go.
In any sense. And right there, it told me to stop for a stop sign, even though there's no stop sign. Are people crossing? So I would personally wait. I'm gonna have to pause.
Yeah, these people are dumb as well. If the traffic is crossing, like, you shouldn't, or traffic is turning, you should not be crossing.
So I reactivated mid section. Doesn't want to do anything. Oh, and then for the first time, it didn't take us down the railroad tracks, but it did take us into the bus only lane.
Perfect.
So it once again is coming to a complete stop at the Wells Fargo sign that is red up here. Anyways,
I think that's the best part, actually.
So
there's this just random fucking red bit here, and it's like, yeah, this is red. Clearly, red means stop sign. Like, Tesla, the future of driving. Some of these comments in here are actually, some of them are decent comments. It's called not perfected yet. Yes, well, that's true, but it also shouldn't be in a consumer vehicle if it's gonna do shit like that. I wonder how Wells Fargo paid for that feature. Every single company should just have a red sign. It'll just make Tesla stop there. I do think This is a really dumb comment. I do think that self-driving cars are the future of safe transportation, but they are the future. They are not the fucking present. Well, that explains why I constantly see a dozen smashed Teslas at every shop I drive by. Okay, shitty streets. They are pretty shitty streets. I'll give you that as well. The fact that people can cross at a turn is stupid. The guy talking is more annoying than the car. Lovely. I'm not surprised at some of the comments. I'm not even talking about the actual content. Dude keeps trying to drive in bus lane only and tries to cut corners. Car is just trying to do what it's supposed to, right? No. He's letting the car do what it wants, and it keeps driving down to those sections. Did this guy watch the video? I don't think you watched the video. This is what one would expect from beta software. This should not be purchasable, though. If anything, Tesla should be paying drivers for risking their safety to beta test this system. I don't know if it's beta or if it's just buggy. But either way, this could just be a one-off case. But a one-off case in a vehicle, is something that can kill people. Like, that's the sort of stuff that you cannot allow to be failing. Like, you can't allow that to fail. Let's see. Well, you did run a stop sign, but yeah, I can't... No, he didn't run a stop sign. Do you mean the stop sign that he didn't need to stop at? Why is this shit legal? There's definitely a stop sign. The man blows. He told me to stop for a stop sign. There's no stop sign. Don't be so distracted by your phone. Why'd you say 225? You're linking to the wrong video. Where is 225? There was a stop. Okay, yeah, that's the stop sign for turning. It explained on the screen who that stop sign was for. But yeah, some of the comments in here actually understand the problems. Others, I guess, didn't watch the video and were like, "Oh, but like, it's not that bad, is it? It stopped. It saw a stop sign, so it stopped. That's fine." Ignoring the fact that that's not fine, and you shouldn't be just stopping for every stop sign. You should be stopping for the stop signs that are relevant to your lane and relevant to what you are doing. I have no interest in buying a Tesla, but honestly, I wasn't going to buy one. I wasn't going to buy a new car anyway. I'm probably going to be sticking with like pre-20, 2015 cars for a long ass time. Until we get to the point where modern cars are actually repairable, it makes more sense to stick with something just a little bit older. My current car was built in 2002. And I don't give a shit about your modern features that make the car have a fucking subscription feature. Actually, did you guys hear about that? Toyota has I think it's past their 2018 model to use their key fob. To use their key fob outside of the car, using it at a distance, will require you to have an $8 monthly subscription. No. I just won't buy your car then. I'll just buy older cars. Because there's going to be 2015 cars on the road till like 20 There's still cars like the mid 90s on the road today. And you can still get them secondhand. So there's going to be like 2015 cars on the road for the next like 30 years. The only way that you can get like any older cars off the road is if we actually do go down the route of phasing out petrol vehicles. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of pushback against that. And well, there sort of already is a lot of pushback against that. It's going to get worse though if there's any plans to like the only plans that we see are like plans to phase out manufacturing of these cars. Plans to actually phase out petrol though, I think is going to be a bit more of a challenge to get people to actually accept. But anyway, Toyota is like, oh yeah, you can like use your car, you use your key fob as long as you pay us $8 a month. But like, you also get like free 3 to 10 years depending on the package you buy. It's like, yeah, but the car's gonna be on the road for longer than 3 to 10 years. So like, stop it. It's $8 a month, Toyota. It is $8 a month. You don't need the extra $8 a month. I think you got plenty of money from the car being purchased. And then, people going into the Toyota mechanics because the car's getting less repairable, and only the official Toyota mechanics are the ones who can actually repair it. The other problem with this is that there's actually no reason for there to be a subscription. It would be one thing, this is something that Lewis Rossman was saying, it would be one thing if it was contacting Toyota's servers. It shouldn't be. It's a key fob that unlocks your car, but if it was contacting Toyota's servers to do something, whatever sort of functionality you'd want it to do, fine. You're using the servers, it's costing Toyota money to actually allow this function to work. It's a bad function then, but it's costing them money. This isn't. This is a regular key fob. It contacts the car and nothing else. There's no cost that comes from Toyota. They're both shit companies now. They're both costs that come from... There's no cost that comes from Toyota. It's completely free. Actually, every car company shit, to be honest. There's no reason to have a subscription here. Like, there's a lot of things that are getting subscriptions nowadays that don't have anything... Like, don't have any costs attached to them. I understand subscriptions for things like... for, like, video sharing services for things like... For content distribution platforms, things like Netflix, because there is a cost in running a service like that. The cost may not be anywhere near as high as the subscription fee is actually going to suggest, but there is a cost. And if there is a cost, you can charge whatever you want to sort of make a profit margin from that cost. I don't care. It's when there isn't. It is when it is literally just a thing that doesn't cost anything, you own it, it does everything completely for free, that there shouldn't be a cost. There should never be a cost for that. Especially once you already bought the key fob. I wouldn't be surprised if one day we get to the point where, like, some of these car manufacturers are offering the ability to, like, rent a car from... like the manufacturer. So rather than buying, let's say a $40,000 car. So that's 40,000 Australian. So like 30-ish thousand US, which is not, it's not extravagant for a new car. You're not buying like a new Tesla. You're buying like a fairly sensible new car. New cars aren't sensible anyway, but if you're buying a new car, it's in the sensible range. I wouldn't be surprised if one day it's like, instead of buying a car, let's say 30,000 divided by 10. So rather than paying for the new car, it's $3,000 a year, which would be, let's say it's $250 a month. Let's maybe have it be less than that. Maybe have it be like $150 a month. So you don't have to pay for this entire... that would be less than what you'd be paying for... Yeah, it would be less than what you'd be paying, I guess, for... What's the word? For getting like a car loan. Because let's say you decide, I don't want to keep the car the entire time. Then after those, 5-6 years you've had the car, then Toyota can decide, okay, so we've sort of made back, let's say, $20,000 on the car, for example. We can now sell the car, because it's only a 5-year-old car, we can now sell the car for $15,000. So you sort of have the rental service, but then Toyota also does like a second-hand service as well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a model that car companies do start to go down. It gives them a lot more control over like who is buying the car. It gives them a lot more ways to monetize a car. It allows them to. We could also then have, if someone does damage the car, then you could have the payouts from insurance, or they could pay the car themselves. So there's really no risk from Toyota's perspective to do a strategy like this, or from any company really. I'm just saying Toyota because that's the example in my mind right now. And hey, well, if you want to get the car repaired because you're renting it, well, you can bring it back to Toyota Repairs, and maybe we can factor that. You can factor that into the cost per month. So let's say it would be $150 per month if you weren't having in the repair cost, but then it's $200 a month. So you can then say to the user or the renter, whatever you want to call them, come to the Toyota repair shop, whatever, and you get free repairs. But in reality, it's actually a repair that is factored into your cost. So you are probably paying way, way more for the repairs and for the checkups and all that stuff than you would be if you had bought the car outright. I hope no car companies listen to this because it's a really fucking good idea and would destroy the car industry. Will destroy the car industry in, like, the consumer perspective. It would be great for the car companies. Absolutely fantastic for them, so please don't do it. Either way, I'm going to buy my secondhand Holden from 20 years ago. Because, hey, why the fuck not? I've still got my first car. So my first car is this Barino from 2002. I've had it for, like, 5 years at this point. It's a fucking shitbox, but it gets me from point A to point B, and you know what? That's all that matters. I don't need a fancy car. I think, most people need to sort of accept that you don't need a fancy car. Just buy a car. Buy a car that will get you from point A to point B. I get the whole I'm a car guy thing, and that's cool, but if you're not a car guy, like, why are you buying an expensive car? I don't get it. If you're just someone who's like, I go to the office with my car, I don't give a shit about cars, I don't even know what an engine is. Why are you spending like $100,000 on a car? I did see someone the other day with a fucking Ferrari. They got a Ferrari and just parked it in a random ass car park in Marion. Now, Marion is by no means, a horrible area. It's a good area, but like, I wouldn't be parking something that expensive in a place where just random people can hit it. That's a lot of money. Maybe they have so much money that they just don't care. If someone scratches their Ferrari, they just get a new Ferrari. Possible. Entirely possible. I wouldn't be surprised. When you get to that side of the city, you're getting to the capital. And when you get to the capital, there's a lot of people who have more money than brains is probably the best way to put it, I would say. Cars. I don't know where I was going with that one. Actually, before we take the short break, since I was on the topic of Toyota and Tesla and all that fun stuff, here's a very short topic. The Cybertruck. It has a comically large window wiper. Genuinely stupid looking window wiper. I don't believe in... Yeah, if people are talking about it now, then it surely wasn't in the original demo. It doesn't fucking look real. It does not look like a real car. It really doesn't. But judging by how I would picture the size of the Cybertruck, I would assume that the window wiper would have to be at least 1.5 meters long. At least, minimum. Does it demonstrate how the window wiper moves? This would not be a window wiper you could easily replace. Like, if you wanted to replace this, you would have to go to someone who has specific Tesla parts. Because I don't think there are any standard window wipers. Maybe a bus window wiper. Would a bus window wiper be big enough? Maybe. I still love the Cybertruck though. Like I love how Elon straight up just got people talking about it by showing it having a fault. Oh, the glass is bulletproof. Whoops, the glass broke because we totally didn't plan that. That wouldn't be well within the realm of possibilities of things we can do. So many people got tricked into thinking, oh yeah, that actually happened. Haha, funny, the glass broke. Oh, they fucked up so bad. Oh no, so bad. No, they did it because they knew that there would be people dumb enough to think it was actually something they did and get people talking about it for a long time. And now everyone knows about the Cybertruck. And now we get to laugh at its comically large window wiper. How does it move? Does it like... Where is the... Wait, does it actuate from here, or does it, like, slide across? If it actuates from here, oh, I guess it would work well enough. It would hit most of the window. If it actuates from here and it go... No, it couldn't actuate from here and go across, because then you'd have a bar going across your window, and that would be really annoying. So it's got to actuate from here. That's a lot of weight to have on one point. Look, I'm no engineer. I'm sure someone who knows what they're doing design... Okay, I'm sure Elon went to someone who knows what they're doing, and then Elon was like, make this. And they're like, why? And he was like, do it. And it's like, okay, I'll make it work. And then you got this. I don't think an engineer went out of their way to design this of free will, as is probably the best way to put it. This isn't just true for me, but the bigger that I get on YouTube, the more that I have random-ass companies getting into my emails trying to get me to sell their shit. Now, some of these companies have actual good products. So recently, Skillshare and Brilliant hit me up. I was very, very much debating actually going with them, because I actually do think that both of them are good companies. They both make really cool stuff. And I don't think anyone would be critical of me saying, hey, Skillshare is cool, Brilliant is cool. Do you like to learn shit? These are good companies. But on the other hand, I also get random ass crypto companies now hitting me up for my inbox. So here is one from a coin called Dissenter. Not Dissenter like the Dissenter, what is it? Is it a web extension? Is it Decenter? Dissent? I don't know. It's like, here it is. Boom. Browse to earn. It's Brave. Creating a bridge between internet users and applications developed with distributed ledger technology, an open source platform which enables you to manage and pay with your personal data value. So Brave. You've made Brave. What is it based on? I actually didn't know it was a browser. I just saw their email. I saw them mention that they did the thing where it's like dollar and then their coin name, and then I just didn't read anymore because I don't give a shit about promoting your stupid browser. Or your stupid crypto. Is a free VP... What are you based on? You're Chromium. Surely you're Chromium. Wait, you even open source? Wow, you're open... Oh, wait, no, is this just... Wait. Okay, that was your website. This is the Dissenter blockchain. What about the browser itself? The browser extension, okay. But what about the browser itself? See, unlike a lot of the projects that hit me up, I don't think that one's a scam. I just think I don't want to touch a crypto project. Anyway, hi Brody, browsing the web equals mining for data. I guess, yeah, you know, I'll accept that. Dissenter allows deck holders to mine the full value of their data secured on our custom blockchain and browse. We secure all your data on the blockchain because that's totally secure. Anyway, and be paid in cash each month. 25K paid out first month after launch. They make it sound like you're going to make... This is an interesting way to phrase it. It makes it sound like you're going to make that. What is actually going to happen is you're going to make what Brave pays you, which is in the realm of like 40 cents. Just by browsing the internet as they always do. DEC is the only token with intrinsic value because it is based on a digital asset. This is the best quote. DEC is the only token with intrinsic value because it is based on a digital asset. You have literally described cryptocurrency. You have described the whole market. Every single coin has intrinsic value because it is based on a digital asset. That is the whole purpose of crypto. What are you even saying? What do you mean you're the only one? All of them are this. Did you know that the global data market is currently worth 198 billion and expected to double by 2025? True. I'll take that at face value. I wouldn't be surprised if it does double, especially as we are getting more smart devices and all that fun stuff where they have intrinsic data collection, if we're going to be using the word intrinsic. We would love to work with you in reviewing and promoting Dissenter with your audience. Also, that is it's really, really similar to the Dissenter browser extension, and that's not something I want to touch. You really fucked up with that name. I think why they called themselves Dissenter is because Dissenter, decentralization, rather than Dissenter as in descent. In return, we can pay in our DEC tokens and help you earn more through that payment by providing more value with our project. So what you're saying is you're going to provide me with an affiliate link, and people download the browser. They're going to be able to give me a bit of extra coin for that. You can read more about Dissenter on our official white paper, our mainnet launch here, our Elio trades review here, and our press coverage for Mount Sinai partnership here. Sure you're a great person. I'm sure you're a great person making a great product. I have no interest in touching a crypto browser. Now, you might be saying, but Brody, you use Brave. Oh, you use Brave. How could you say that? I think Brave is a good browser without the crypto. You can get rid of the crypto aspect of Brave, and Brave still makes sense to be using. I don't think, besides the fact that it apparently comes with a built-in VPN, which I wouldn't want to use anyway because I don't know how you handle your data collection, and I don't know who you share your data with, and I don't know anything about your VPN, why I would want to use your VPN. Anyone who wants to use a VPN at this point probably has a VPN. Like, there are so many VPN ads out there that if you wanted a VPN already, you've already gotten, like, you use someone's affiliate link and you're already using one. But emails like that are fairly common. I got an email from OBS the other day because I forgot that I donated money to the project. I was like, why the hell is OBS contacting me? Is this like... honestly, I would have been like super hype if OBS wanted to talk to me, but no, it was basically just about... they were adding in a new feature. Finally, OBS is adding in WebSocket support. So there's a WebSocket extension. I talked about this a while back. I never got around to actually doing a video on it, but the WebSocket extension basically let you control OBS outside of the OBS interface. So you could do things like... What could you do? You could go and start and stop streams. You could change scenes. You could enable or disable elements, things like that. All of that fun stuff. You could do that like from the terminal, from a web browser. You could use a CLI tool and then hook it up with a macro pad and then control OBS from the macro pad without binding anything in the OBS window. You could use OBS WebSocket to get multiple things happening on a single key press and having them like happen in the order that you want them to be happening in, which is not something you could do inside of the main interface through any means that I know of, at least. Maybe there was some way to do it, but I certainly didn't know of one. What the hell is this one? I got... Anyway, I think it's a really cool feature, and I've been meaning to check it out for quite a while. I just looked back. Sometimes I see my emails, but I never actually, like a lot of the time I'll get these, like, stupid, what's the word? Stupid, ad emails and just don't read them. Hello, how are you? I am, Elena from Clevguard Marketing Department. We would like to sponsor a video on, and then links to my channel. I always love it when they do that. I genuinely love it when they show no interest in what your content actually is. So I'm writing to you to wonder if... So I am writing to you to wonder if... That is such a weird way to phrase that. So I'm writing to you to wonder if you are willing to review our Kids Guard Pro for iOS or Android. Here are some key features of the software for your reference. So I'm writing to discover if you're willing. That's how you phrase that. Okay, so what are the key features? Cover 20 plus files on iOS version and 30 plus files on Android version. What do you mean cover files? Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean cover 20 plus files? Wait, what? Cover 20 plus files on iOS version and 30 plus files on Android version. Does that mean... Do you mean apps? Do you mean that, like, it only covers 30 apps? Is that what you're saying? Because if it's files, that doesn't make any sense. I have no idea what that means. Sync device data over Wi-Fi. Having internet connectivity is not a feature. That is a basic function. That would be like saying, this water bottle, one of its features is I can drink water from it. Like, that's not a feature. That's what it fucking does. What are you talking about? No need to root and jailbreak. I hope not. Because you're an extension... Like, you're just a random tool to control what apps you can use. You don't... What? I don't think I want to open up their website. I don't trust your website. But there's so many like these, and they're all fun. They're all so much fun. What is this one? Oh, here we go. Another key reseller. Hi, this is Aria from Mediums, which is an influencer marketing company which has been developed over 10 years. Okay, so you're from a marketing firm, not from the company themselves. Our partner CD Key Sales needs to promote products on YouTube. CD Key Sales is an online store selling Windows software and official game keys and gift cards. We want to book videos on your channel. Dedicated video 3 to 4 minutes. 45-second integration at the beginning of your normal video. Put product links in your video description. If works well, we will book more videos with you in the future. If you're interested in working with us, please give me your offer. We can send you some examples we sponsored before if you want to see how the video will be. I don't want to touch your sketchy key reseller. Actually, no, we're going to look up this key reseller. It's always fun when I get these key reseller companies coming to me and then looking up, like, their reviews. Because a lot of the time when you look up companies like this, the first thing you'll get is, are they legit? And then you scroll down and you see it's a single review, but they have one review at 1 star. Oh, there's a Trustpilot page. Oh, okay. Let's see. Trustpilot. 3.5. Okay. What are their excellent ratings? Give me these excellent ratings. Are they going to be employee reviews? I bought the Windows 10 key with a good price. Okay, I can't read this one. I couldn't tell you if this is a good review. Okay, this is. I also cannot read that one. I definitely cannot read that one. Now let's see the bad reviews and the great reviews. What else do you have to say? Don't buy here. Bought a very overpriced WoW 1 month game time card. After paying, I did not get the product, and the customer service told me you'll get refund in 24 hours, come back later. Then close the chat on me, don't buy. I also cannot read that one. Everything went fine. So, like, you know, I don't feel super safe about using this. It's sort of like buying stuff from like G2A, things like that. Where yeah, wait, I'm sorry, you have iTunes. Hold up a second. Okay, for anyone who's just listening to the audio right now, they have a section selling gift cards. Okay, we have an Apple iTunes gift 10 USD. Okay, this is a $10. Okay, $10 for iTunes. Okay, keep the $10 in mind. This is very important. Now, the normal price is $13.56, and the discounted price is $12.17. Now, I don't know if like maths is your strong suit, right? But when something says $10, if you go to, I don't know, what stores do you have in the US where they sell iTunes gift cards? Walmart, okay? How much will the iTunes $10 gift card cost? Now, if you said $10, you would be correct, because that's how much they cost, because that's how gift cards work. Oh, here we go. Here's a $50 Steam USD. The normal price is $82.50. The current price, at 35% discount, $53.97. What? How? What? Why are people buying from you? No, actually, why are people buying from you? You are literally selling, like, these gift cards are more expensive than buying them at the store. $25 for iTunes, or $25 iTunes, $28. The only one I saw in here that's actually at a sensible price is the oh no, sorry. It was at a sensible price. It was $50 of PSN. That used to be $48.59. Now it is $54.54. So you got the idea of selling gift cards, and then you sold it for more. How? How is it? I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand what this company is. Who is buying from this? Who at all is buying from this? Like, G2A makes sense because at G2A, usually game keys are cheaper, right? Like, you'll get a, I don't know, whatever cool games people are playing nowadays. You'll get the game keys and they will be cheaper. Why would you buy more expensive? Why would you buy ones that are more expensive? It does not compute in my brain. Maybe their game keys are fine, and it's just their gift cards that are weird. But why even have the gift cards then? Like, if your gift cards aren't going to be priced in a way that makes sense, why would you even have them? I genuinely have no idea. That's enough. That's going to be enough of me ranting about weird emails that I get. I want to tell you about my experience with a certain type of cable. This is everyone's favorite cable nowadays that I fucking despise. I've made it very you can't see it. I've made it very clear how I feel about USB-C. I unironically think that USB-C is the worst connector that we have ever created. I have lost, not lost as in I physically lost them, they've broken 3 USB-C cables in the past 6 months. So I bought this one. This is working fine. I've got 3 more in my drawer just for when they actually break, because the only USB-C device I currently have is this PS5 controller, and I'm very happy for that. Oh, sorry. No, the Xbox controller is also USB-C. I'm very happy for that because I am sick of having to buy new cables because they just keep breaking. The port on the device is great. I don't think that port's ever going to break. But I don't understand, like, the whole idea of why USB, micro USB was bad. I have never had any problem with micro USB. I have had, like, my old phone before this one, I had it for about 2 years. I had broken cables plugged into the port, and the port was fine. No problem whatsoever. But the main cable I had for about 2 years. I didn't care about it. I just threw it on the floor. I'd step on it half the time, and it was fine. I start using USB-C, and it's already dying. Like, I really don't understand. Maybe I'm just the unluckiest person in the world with USB-C. But I've seen some other people sort of echoing my same complaints. Saying that USB-C, like, the cables keep failing. The ports are fine. It's the cables themselves that just consistently keep failing. And I really don't know why. My USB-C phone keeps killing charges, not the other way around. Because it's not like I'm even, using a, like, fast charging or anything like that. It's basic USB power to power a controller. Like, there's nothing crazy happening there. I'm not using any of the more, like, advanced features. It's just the most basic functionality, power and data. That is all. And that's without even getting into the problem of USB-C, like, the standard being an absolute train wreck. There's, like, 7 different standards on the exact same cable, which sounds fine if you like the idea of having, like, one connector for everything. The problem, though, is that nobody labels their cables correctly, so you have no idea what half the cables actually do. Like, oh, some of them can support this, but not this, and this, but not this. Like, I know someone's gonna tell me I'm wrong about this, but I really wish we could just go back to doing everything with micro USB. I do think that micro USB was just a better connector, which you've probably never heard anyone actually say as a serious statement, but believe me, I am being completely serious right now. USB-C, I think, is a horrible connector, and I am holding out moving over to USB-C for, honestly, as long as possible. I don't know why it is such a poorly constructed cable. It may have something to do with the fact that it's a reversible cable, and when you have something reversible, you inherently have to make the structure. You have to structure the cable in a way that makes it like that, which is going to remove your ability to reinforce the cable like you would in something that isn't reversible. For example, like USB-A. Like the PC, well, the plastic bit in there isn't there for reinforcement, but it does reinforce the cable. Like, that's there as part of the connector, but it does make the structure more rigid. That's probably why USB-A cables never fail. Like, I've never seen a USB-A cable fail. Micro USB, it's sort of the same structure, but at a smaller scale. Micro USB does fail every so often, but usually it's not in the. Usually it's the joint between the metal and the plastic itself, and that will sort of bend. sometimes you'll also have the pins in, like the little hook pins inside, also grind a bit, and then eventually not actually grip properly. I've never understood the whole desire for wanting to have a reversible cable. Like, sure, sometimes you plug the cable in the wrong way, but like, you're not actually going to plug it in. You're going to realize, oh, the cable doesn't go in, and then turn back around, and then you realize it's fine. I've heard some people try to like jam micro USB in backwards, and then they break it. Like, how did you do that? Like, it's a different shape. Like, you know those toys you have as a kid where like there's a lid on it and it's like, put the blocks into the correct hole. This is that person who goes and puts every single shape into the square hole. It's like, oh, circle, square hole, square, square hole, triangle, square hole, rectangle, square hole. They all fit. Might as well just all put them in the exact same hole. Doesn't matter. So there's nothing I can do about it because modern devices are going USB-C whether I like it or not. And look, I can sit here and complain about it, but that's about as much as I can do. And it's not like there's going to be choices for like, oh, you want to get a device that doesn't have USB-C? Well, good luck not buying new things. Like, just buy old controllers and stuff. I don't want to do that. I want to use the modern shit, but also don't like the USB-C. I am stuck between a rock and a hard place, but also it doesn't really matter because I'm complaining about a fucking USB cable. Like, it doesn't actually, in the grand scheme of things, having to buy a $2 cable like every couple of months isn't a big deal. It's just more annoying than it should be. And when a cable dies, like literally in the middle of using it, it's quite annoying and I don't want to have to deal with it. But that is life. That is life, and life is going to be like life do be. Now, you thought you were going to escape it, but I guess I should just make Final Fantasy a core part of the podcast at this point, because basically every week I have at least something to talk about, because I do play a lot of the game. It's sort of like the one game I am playing in my free time right now outside of Shin Megami Tensei 3, which I'm slowly making progress through, but my thought is, look, if I can go play Final Fantasy or SMT3, a lot of the time, I'm sort of just in the mood for Final Fantasy instead. But I am getting very close to 50 on my Black Mage, and man, can I just say, I really, really, really like Black Mage. Like, at the start, so the way that Final Fantasy works, all of the jobs below level 30 are basically really boring. Like, there's not really much fun. Okay, it's not that bad, right? But up to level 30 is basically the tutorial. Then from 30 to 50, it's the extended tutorial. But those first 30 levels sort of introduce you to like what your job does, like what your purpose in the party is, sort of your basic combos and basic abilities. But it's past that point where you start getting like the big important abilities that sort of define what your job actually do. And I think my Black Mage is at level 45 now. I've gotten a really cool ability, that being Firestarter. Holy shit, Firestarter is fun. So basically the idea with Firestarter is every time you cast the fire spell, there is a 40% chance that you get a free cast of is it Fire 3? Fire 3, yes. Fire 3 is a more powerful version of Fire. Oh, it's not just a free cast, it's also an instant cast. So you cast Fire, and then straight away, there's an instant cast, well, I guess after the GCD cooldown, there's the Fire 3 cast, and everything just explodes. And then sometimes, because it's a 40% chance, you will get another one straight away, and then shit just keeps blowing up constantly. I now see why Black Mage is fun. Earlier on, it's great. It's all cool, but like, being able to just blow shit up constantly like this, I think this is why people actually play and really like the Black Mage. So here's a list of what I should have up to 45. So I just got Thunder. Oh no, so I haven't got Thunder 3 yet because that's the job quest that I haven't got around to doing yet. But Thunder 3 deals lightning damage with a potency of 50, additional effect, lightning damage over time. Oh, so this is a... Wait, does this just replace Thunder 1? That literally is the exact same thing as Thunder 1. I think it might replace it. Either way, that's going to be the next spell I get. The only other thing I get up to 50, so Ethereal Manipulation, rush to a target member's side, unable to cast if bound. So basically that's your Black Mage's teleport, which I don't know. I guess the reason why you might use that, besides obviously moving around the dungeon, probably to get yourself out of the way of a big attack. Like maybe you're stuck in a attack range, but there's someone outside of the attack range and you just jump over to them. I think that's why you might want to use that. And then Flare, I guess Flare is the equivalent of Freeze. So Freeze is a ice aspected spell. We can only use if you're under the effects of Umbral Ice, which is basically you've used an ice spell. And then Flare is the equivalent of that. Both these are AoE attacks. That costs all of your MP. Okay. So does damage reduce as you lose MP? No, it doesn't. Okay, so it doesn't. The way you would use this then is you would use this at the end of a AoE combo. So you'd get into your fire aspect with Fire 3, then you would Fire 3, Fire 3, Fire 3 until you get down to basically no mana. Then you Flare, then you... Oh, I lost the screen. Then you would go and Blizzard 3 and then go back into your Blizzard phase and then stay in Blizzard phase until you get full MP, swap back with Fire 3 again, and then you're good to go. Anything after that is going to be Heaven's Ward content, which I'm not going to be dealing with for a little bit. As I've said before, I'm going to be going back and trying out different jobs. Just because I want to see what the others are like. But I'm really liking Black Mage. The only problem with Black Mage is because it's a DPS job, and because DPS got a new role, because it got a new job, that being the Reaper in Endwalker, DPS queuing isn't fun. It is not fun whatsoever. It's not that horrible. A lot of the time what I do is I'll get into queue and then just go start, like, going through my hunt log or anything like that, just getting some shit done while I'm waiting the, 5-10 minutes it takes to actually queue. Compare that to tank, where right now, because no one's playing tank, it's literally an instant queue for anything that actually has anything that has a... What's the word? A party trying to get it. Speaking of queues, though, Queue Simulator 14 it's been getting better. When I try to log in at peak time now, I think there's only 400 players in queue, which sounds like a lot. But launch day there was 5,000. So it's coming back down. People are getting to the end of the MSQ and Endwalker. They're getting the stuff they want. And the people who weren't playing all the time are going back to not playing all the time, and they'll probably come back when 6.1 drops or whatever patch they decide to come back for. So it's getting a little bit more tolerable, and which is quite nice, and I'm very Very, very, very happy with that. Wait. So wait. Hold on. I was just looking at the PvE actions versus PvP. And there were some spells removed in for the PvE side, which are still there for PvP. Sure. Okay. I don't know why PvP works so differently from PvE now, but I also don't PvE. I'm PvP because this is Final Fantasy 14, and why would you PvP? Ugh. The game's still a lot of fun. I'm still very happy that I started playing it, and yeah. Still not sure about what job I'm going to do next, but I'll work that out when I get to it and have fun with whatever it is I decide to do. But I haven't actually played any FF14 like this week because I've been too busy like working and shit. So sadly, I don't have much else to say. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say for FF14 at this point. Actually, I probably won't even to say next week, actually, because I'll probably get, like, one little session to play, like, this weekend, and that's pretty much going to be it. Yeah, so I guess maybe there won't be any FF14 to talk about next week. And for the guys who don't like FF14, maybe that'll be better for you. If you do like it, well, tune in for the following week, because I guarantee there will be much more FF14 at that point. What do we got here? Oh, you know what? Let's end off the podcast by ranting about NFTs. So, have you guys heard about the Bored Ape project? The super great project that has amazing art that everybody loves. Well, Bored Apes sell for a lot of money. At least they are supposed to. So, someone they were doing their daily trades, you know, flipping NFT art, because that's what you do when you buy NFTs. You don't actually care about the art. All you care about is, because why would you care about it? It's all shit art. All you care about is making money. Someone accidentally sold their Bored Ape NFT for $3,000 instead of $300,000. And you know what? Serves you fucking right. I don't feel the absolute slightest bit of sympathy for someone who is buying NFT art and then loses $300,000. If you do, that's good. I don't care. All I care about in this situation is that I get to laugh at you. The thing that makes it even funnier, though, is this guy tried to then cancel the sale. But because this is the NFT world and people are just like botting everything, someone had instantly bought it, because it was like the way it probably happened is they were probably like auto buying anything below a certain value, and then it got insta-buyed. So they got it and then sold it instantly for $250,000. Oh, I love it. I genuinely love the fact that this guy lost $300,000. That might make me sound like a bad person, and maybe it does. But I don't care. When they initially sold, they were selling for $320. Now they sell for at least $200,000. Good. I want more stories like this to come out so more people can laugh at NFTs and be like, yeah, they're stupid, aren't they? Hey, maybe there's use for the technology itself, but there's certainly no use whatsoever in the current market. The current state of the NFT market is absolutely fucked, and it needs to it needs to sort of go through this phase of everything fucking dies and everybody just laughs. Speaking of laughing, the best take on NFTs you'll ever hear is Keanu Reeves' take. So you've probably heard about it at this point, but I love it nonetheless. So Keanu Reeves was asked about NFTs because for the new crypto movie, the new Matrix movie.
Do you think it's
The new Matrix movie, they're doing like an NFT collection alongside of it. And this is his take. It's fucking amazing.
dystopian? Like the way the original Matrix kind of presented all this is like kind of dystopian where tech was headed? Like, do you think the metaverse, as everyone's talking about it now? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care about the metaverse.
Right. Cryptocurrency creation. Right. It's fine. It's economic creation. Right.
Oh, wait, there was more to
You
the
know,
take than people have actually been showing? Okay, no, we actually want to watch the entire thing then.
do you think it's dystopian? Like the way the original Matrix kind of presented all this is like kind of dystopian where tech was headed? Like, do you think the metaverse, as everyone's talking about it now? I mean,
Yeah, because it's, you know, I mean, it's also, you know, it's content creation, it's economic creation, right? Cryptocurrency.
are either of you into cryptocurrency personally?
A friend of mine bought some for me a while back, so
But you haven't done anything with it.
I haven't had to.
It's just sitting there appreciating.
It's just like,
It's probably good. They call that hodl, just to sit there
It's
and
what?
hold it. It's called hodl when you just don't
Hodl?
touch your crypto, even if it tanks a little bit, you hodl it.
Yeah.
So you're hodling your crypto.
Yeah, I have a little hodl.
She looks... She does not want to be in this conversation right now.
Did you guys see the Matrix
Here's the fun bit. Okay.
NFT thing that they did for Resurrections just a couple days ago?
No.
They made NFTs for the new movie, and there were like 100,000 of them, and the site broke like in the first few hours because there were over 300,000 people in the queue trying to buy these NFTs for $50.
Just... They're like, They're trying to like let him finish talking before... Like, you can clearly see in their eyes, they're like, yup,
And so, like, when you think about the concept of digital scarcity and things that are, you know, they can't be copied.
That are easily reproduced.
Well, but they're not the same, right? It's not a fake version of you.
I wonder do we get a cut of that? Or no, I don't think we're in them. They probably did other people.
They can't be copied.
Oh my god,
That are easily
the laugh, like, I don't even care about the rest of what he said here. The laugh is the best part of this take.
Produced.
Well, but they're not the same, right? It's not.
I think, was it Mudaha or was it CoffeeZilla that put it best? It sounds like he's sort of auditioning for the for a role as a hyena in The Lion King.
You know,
Reproduced.
well, but they're not the same, right? It's not a fake version of you.
I wonder do we get a cut of that? Oh no, I don't think we're in them.
Like,
They probably did other people.
You can see that he does not give a shit about NFTs whatsoever, and he's just taking the piss out of this. And honestly, it is the best take that I've ever. It is a culmination of all of everything I've said about what I don't like about NFTs, just put into this one little soundbite. Just that laugh sums up everything that I think about the current state of the crypto market, the current state of NFTs, and how little that I think that you should take it seriously. So to anyone, any companies out there who are listening to this who are like, oh, I maybe will think of getting Brody to promote my NFT collection. Only if I can laugh at it. Only if I can laugh at it and tell people not to buy it. If that's fine, I'm happy. I'm happy to promote it and tell people not to do it. But don't expect me to be positive about it, because I'm not going to promote people buying JPEGs for ludicrous amounts of money. Because while these are like $50 right now, they're going to go up a lot. They are going to go up a lot. I guarantee within like a few weeks, they're going to be hundreds of thousands, especially now that Keanu has laughed about them. Now that happened, I guarantee they're going to go up even more, because now the crypto bros are going to be like, oh, how dare he make fun of our project. NFTs are the future. NFTs are so great. How dare you do that? I actually did see someone who is not about the Keanu thing, but who is just so lost in the world of crypto. They think that crypto can solve everything. This got 8,000 upvotes on r/cryptocurrency because everyone on this subreddit is obviously really, really dumb. I was reminded today that Ticketmaster desperately needs to go the way of Blockbuster. I bought a ticket seat for a Tool concert next year, $74, with fees coming. With fees, it came to $97. Ridiculous considering I don't even receive a physical ticket anymore. Blockchain, once mainstream and widespread, will break the stranglehold middlemen have over hold over venues. Imagine direct selling NFTs to fans and locking in price so scalping is practically non-existent and the artist would still get a kickback on secondary sales. Maybe lock in transferring the ticket more than once. There's so many possibilities. I'm sure these issues will get resolved someday. This is why crypto is so exciting. The possibilities are endless. So, also then he says, yeah, because people did be like, yeah, but what about the gas fees? Which is also a very legitimate issue. But like none of what's being said in here, literally none of what's being said in here requires crypto. Literally none of it. So, do you know why the fees are so expensive? Because Ticketmaster does not like you. The Ticketmaster is going to be like, fuck you. I'm going to set the fees to whatever I want. And do you know why Ticketmaster can do that? Oh, sorry, well, yeah, I guess Ticketmaster's the one adding the fees, but ultimately these tickets are expensive anyway. Do you know why Ticketmaster can do that? Because they have relationships with these venues. You can't just go out of your way and be like, yes, I'm going to just book this venue. Like, you need to go through the people who have the ability to let you book the venue. And to do that, you need to have a relationship with them. And Ticketmaster is one of the ways that you sort of, handle that relationship. Blockchain, once mainstream, will break the stranglehold middlemen have over venues. It won't, because the venues will still have their relationships with these existing providers. And what's going to happen is Ticketmaster will then just become a crypto platform. Like, they'll just offer you tickets in crypto. Imagine direct selling NFTs to fans and locking in the price so scalping is practically non-existent. Do you know how you deal with the scalping problem? And the artist would get a kickback of secondary sales, maybe lock in transferring the ticket more than once. The way you lock in the scalping problem is you lock the ticket to the name on the ticket. And then when someone shows you the ticket, if their ticket does not match up with their ID, then the ticket is not valid. This is how you deal with the scalping problem, and this is how you already deal with it. Like, this isn't a new idea to deal with scalping. This is how scalping is already dealt with. You have the person's name on the ticket, and then you check their ID at the door. That's all you need to do. You don't need NFTs to do that. You just need to destroy the market by not letting the tickets be valid unless they have a valid ID associated with the ticket. None of these are solved by crypto. Yes, crypto is a solution to some of these. Not this one. This one's dumb. But it is a solution to this one. But it's not a solution that already doesn't exist. But the comments on here are so great. Why would scalpers not exist in the new system? It's a good question. I guess if you locked the ticket, like the person said, but like that's the only way, which you can already do in real life, in the state it's currently in. Let's see. I did see some. Isn't Ticketmaster just a company that buys tickets in the hopes of reselling them? No, definitely not. I did see some comments in here, but they probably got either deleted by the mods or downvoted to hell. Tickets should be stable. Okay, sure. Where did the fun comments to disagree with this go? Yeah, because gas fees are so much better, right? True. Ticketmaster can set the fees to whatever they want. Actually, Ticketmaster gives you higher fees if you want a digital ticket rather than a physical ticket. The reason why it's like that is because they can just do that. They don't care. Like, this isn't a crypto problem. This is just, doesn't matter. Like, we have the relationships, like, lol, we're just going to do what we want. Make the tickets the NFT. Oh, my lord. Actually, there already is a platform that does this anyway, so it's not like it's a future thing. It's just that, like, you'd need your events to actually go through it, which would also mean you'd need your managers to use that system, which would be very unlikely. I love how so many people think that wait, I'm sorry, wait, Ethereum gas fees are that high? Wait, that's $74 because $342 after gas fees. What the fuck? Why is Ethereum so broken right now? Locking in price scalping is practically non-existent. That's impossible since you can give the keys to NFT to someone else. You can always pay real money to the scalper. Well, yeah, you could always just bypass. Yeah, you literally can't lock in the price. I actually didn't think of that. Yeah, you can just sell it outside of the system and then just transfer it for free. Yes, for the first time, people will be able to sell tickets directly over the internet. Never before has such technology graced the minds of men. Imagine complaining about going to see Tool. That's fair, actually. Blockchain won't even devour this, though. Wait. Would you... I think the person's agreeing with me, but I can't understand the sentence. But, like, you either have people who have no idea, like, why this doesn't actually matter, or people who are like me, who are like, no, like, literally all of these systems already exist. That you don't need crypto for. Like, this is the problem with a lot of the, hey, look at all of the great things that crypto can do. A lot of the things that people say that crypto is great for, you can already do. Like, you don't need a crypto system to be able to sell in-game items for money. You can do that already. It's called real money trading. And you, like, it makes games worse. You don't need it. Or this whole ticket situation. You don't need crypto for it. There are already solutions that exist that are in place today. One of the few things that it does account for is, or it does make sense for, is making sure that creators of art get paid. But even so, it doesn't really, because NFTs aren't stored on the blockchain. So if someone just sees the picture, they can still save it. So, like, it doesn't help for that either. Like, I've never heard a use case for NFTs. There are use cases for crypto. Sure. And as long as people are hyped about it, there are certainly money to be made there. Like an immutable database, for example. An immutable database is a perfectly valid reason for a blockchain. Because sure, you can make an immutable database, a mutable decentralized database to be more specific. You can do this without a blockchain, but you sort of have to trust that they are not manipulating the data. But with the blockchain, then you couldn't do that. Like, that's an actual use case. Things like this are not. Things like this are people just being like, wow, crypto is so great. Here's the thing I didn't really think about. Oh, crypto is so perfect. Oh, mate. We're not in a bear market. Here's why. No shit, we're not in a bear market. Have you seen how fucking high the prices are? Are NFTs useful, or are they just an outlet for money laundering? It's a good question, isn't it? Especially in the current state of the NFT market. Like the Bored Apes, like, I'm not saying they are, but like, look, the Bored Apes are not paying the artist money because there's not an artist. A lot of the modern crypto projects we see now are not, a lot of the modern NFT projects aren't actually supporting artists. Like, there's no artists here because they literally, like, brag about the fact that these pictures are procedurally generated. Like, that's why am I paying you money then? I don't understand. Like, you've done nothing. You've just written a Python script. You just written a Python script that changes some fucking colors around. Cool, pay me money. I can do that as well. Crypto. Crypto is fun. We'll end off the podcast with two things that are not crypto and are actually good. We don't know... I don't think we know exactly what this is going to be at this point. Some people have said a movie, but I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. So some people are saying... Okay, people are saying movie. I guess it has been confirmed movie somewhere. This is I guess a crossover movie between SSSS Gridman and SSSS Dynazenon. Honestly is going to be really, really, really cool. Both of these are, like, they're in the same universe. And there's like 30 plus years of like extended universe with like live action series as well. So there's a lot of content that can be built upon with this franchise. But there's going to be a crossover between these two series, which means we're going to have, like, at minimum, a 10-minute combination scene where all of the characters in both of these seasons are going to combine together to fight some sort of big bad guy. I don't know what it's going to be, but either way, it's going to be fucking hype, and I am super, super excited about it. I'm not usually a big mecha fan, but I did enjoy Gridman and Dynazenon, so I'll be absolutely checking this out. I really doubt it's gonna get a screening near me. I would love if it did. If I guess they're Funimation now. If Funimation is listening to this, please get a screening in Australia. I would love you forever. I would give you money for once. The other big one, the other one I want to mention is there is now some new art for Dragon Ball Super. Let's see if we can get the link. The new movie, Dragon Ball, I think it's Dragon Ball Superhero. Yes, Dragon Ball Superhero. We don't really know a ton about the movie just yet. I'm pretty sure it's all CG from what we saw. And Pan is in it, which is cool. But I don't see any Goten or Trunks, which is really annoying because Goten and Trunks have been sidelined for such a long fucking time, and they are actually good characters, but they never get any screen time, and they're still stuck at, like, the same age. They've been the same age since Dragon Ball Z, and there's been, like, 6 or so years between that and now Superhero. My presumption is... So, basically what I understand of this movie is the Red Ribbon Army has gone and made some androids. Those being these two androids here. They're probably going to beat the shit out of Goku and Vegeta, and like, you know, Goten, Gohan, Piccolo as well. And what's probably going to happen is Broly is going to show up and be like, yo, I'm Broly, and punch them, and they die. Because there needs to be some way to bring Broly back into, like, the main series. And that's probably the way it's going to be done. And then from there, I presume we're going to get another season of Dragon Ball Super at some point. Maybe, I don't know what they'd call it. Maybe Super Plus Plus or something, whatever. Super Z, Super Kai Z, whatever they want to call it. And then I imagine they'll do the same thing that happened with Dragon Ball Super, where they recap the previous two movies that happened and then go into other stuff. So we get a recap of Broly and then a recap of Superhero and then go into the fun stuff that's happening in the manga now, which the power scaling is fucking broken in the manga. They realized that, or that Toriyama realized that he's broken the power scaling and just needs to, like, he needs to, like, break the existing canon just to make things get bigger. So, I don't know how much further you can really take where Dragon Ball's at this point, but hey, it's fun nonetheless. I like seeing giant laser battles, and I'm happy to see more of them. And I'd be very happy with more of the main series, because Super, like, even though Super wasn't perfect at some points, I felt like the Tournament of Power was honestly I feel like Tournament of Power was the best arc that Dragon Ball's had in a very long time. In a very, very long time. Granted, there wasn't a lot of Dragon Ball for a very long time, so maybe that's a bit of a weird statement to make. So I'm gonna that probably will. I hope it gets a screening here. It is Dragon Ball, so it's much more likely than Dynazenon and Gridman to get one. And Demon Slayer did get one when that aired. The what is it? What is the Japanese name? I know the English name is like Infinity Train. Demon Slayer. Mugen Train. That one. Yes, that one. So again, Mugen Yasha. Anyway. And then SAO Progressive got one. Sadly, Progressive was only at one center in my entire state. So, yeah. That's not fun. Hopefully, being Dragon Ball, it does get more cinemas. Hopefully one, close to me. Maybe like 5 minutes away. 5 minutes would be good. That's usually where I go. But not that time. Anyway, I guess this is going to be the last podcast you see this year, because this will come out. When will this come out? Wait, no, maybe you'll see one more. Wait, what day is New Year's Eve? I think it's a Thursday. Maybe you'll see one more after this. New Year's Eve. Friday. Okay, so New Year's Eve is on a Friday, so there's one more podcast for this year, and I don't have anything planned for it, but there will be topics, like always, and then maybe I'll do like a recap of the year or something, talk about stuff that happened earlier in the year. That sounds like effort, though, and this is the podcast where effort is something I'm allergic to. So that's going to be pretty much it for me today. If you like the podcast and you want to support my content and all of that fun stuff, do I have my Patreon, Liberapan subscribe linked in the description? I should. If I don't, then I'll add them to the thing. Main channel, Brody Robertson, where I do Linuxy videos and various other things that catch my attention. I've got the gaming channel where I do gaming twice a week, upload Father's YouTube Shorts. At this stage, we are still, it may be different by then, but at this stage, we are still playing through Bloodborne, the Born of the Blood, even though I really don't like the fucking blood vial system. It's the worst system in the entire series. And also Kingdom Hearts. Rechain of Memory specifically, but we're probably going to be done with Rechain in one more stream. After that, I'm probably going to play Hollow Knight at this point, because I am very excited to play it, and people have told me to play it for a very long time. I loved Ender Lilies, and I sort of like this idea of the Dark Souls-esque Metroidvania sort of thing. Didn't think I would like it when I first played them, but I've started to enjoy this genre, and the Dark Souls-esque Metroidvania is sort of becoming a genre all to itself. There are so many games in that specific subset of Souls-like that there's plenty to choose from. There's actually one about a rat that I saw recently that I need to check out as well. I forgot the name of the game is, but the commentator, at least in the video that I was watching, the guy doing the video said the commentator was Geralt from Witcher 3. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'll find out the name about that one, and I'll mention it next week if I remember. If I don't, then you'll see it when I get around to streaming it at some point. Anyway, if you like the podcast, it is available as an audio version basically anywhere. If you did listen to the audio version, though, the video version is available on YouTube and Odyssey. I cannot speak. I am a bad YouTuber. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for me then. This will be out just before Christmas. So I guess Merry Christmas to everybody seeing this then. Enjoy your holiday season and don't get too drunk because I know that I will. That's going to be it for me and I'm out.